Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Director and Mini Producer podcast. My name is Ben. I am the mini producer.
And I'm the director, I guess.
Well, yeah, because like you're I don't want to say old, but like you're a teacher and you've also been like experienced in this stuff of production and like film and like the media communications kind of thing. And also you're a director for my class, so it makes the most sense.
Right. Yeah. So why don't you tell people what class you took with me last semester?
Last semester I took remote television production, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And literally when I first heard of it, I'm like, oh, we're going to be recording sports. It was a lot more than just recording sports. I'm not going to lie. I actually learned a lot for when it comes to the different jobs and also like what stuff you need to prepare for. And then like, we also had a lot of issues for like leading up to everything, but in the end, it actually looked really good. And like some of the production stuff was really well put together. I will never forget the moments of just me being like, time to be technical director. And then about an hour in, just Andrew beating on me about it.
Yeah, I had to kick your chair a couple times. So I think this is very interesting. So you're a first year at Ferris State University.
Yes, I am.
I think that's important for our audience to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in the television production world. I had a video production company, still do, but I'm not located in Grand Rapids anymore, Grand Rapids, Michigan. And so I've got a lot of that experience out there, and I've been fortunate enough to teach adjunct at Ferris. I've got a couple classes that I'm teaching this semester and a couple that I taught last semester. So yeah, that was a great class, remote television production. Ben, learning the ropes. So that was your first television class, right?
Yes, that actually was my first television class.
So not only did you have to learn remote and in a way sports, because we covered football for the most part, high school football because of COVID and everything going on. But you were learning a lot about the cameras, and we were talking about some of the extra equipment that maybe you didn't have access to when you were in high school.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Like in high school, I did a media communications class for like a year, and we had like the smaller cameras. We didn't have like the big cameras that you would hold over your shoulder or anything.
Right.
It was literally just like a simple type of thing. And I was like, oh man, this seems pretty easy and simple. And then I got to the actual like class for TDMP with you, and it was a whole different experience. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't know any of this stuff. And it was just like so insane to me of just like, I already in my freshman year, I was working with big cameras, working on production stuff, being a technical director, working on audio. Like it was overall insane of just knowing that like a freshman like me all of a sudden got into like one of those classes. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm here now.
Yeah, I think my first year at Ferris back in 2000, I had audio was my first television class. So I didn't even get any experience with cameras at that point. So it was great that you were in the class.
It honestly was. Okay, so I'm 19 and I am I'm a freshman at Ferris. Like the director over here said, why don't you say a little thing say some stuff about you, Andrew?
About 2004, I had an internship. Ferris is great because you have to do an internship, right? You have to take the skills that you've learned in school. You have to go out into the real world and show everybody what you do or what you can't do. And so my first experience was at Comcast Spotlight at the time. So we were producing local commercials with Comcast. And that was a great experience. I got to work with a great team there. I was not hired in after my internship, but that was awesome because then I was able to go on and work somewhere else. So my first job was for a television station down in Marion, Illinois, about 5 hours south of Chicago. And I worked at their main headquarters. So they not only recorded shows there, but they also had their post-production facility. So I was an editor, and then I also did some animating with After Effects. kind of the 2D type animation for graphics work on those pieces. And I did that for about it was a year and a half, I think. And then they moved me back up to Michigan, and I worked at one of their local television stations as a production manager in Saginaw. And then from there, not even a year after that, started getting the itch to want to start doing my own thing. So I was talking with one of my friends from college about starting a video production company. And then I moved to Grand Rapids. In that in between time is when I got married. So my wife and I moved to Grand Rapids, and we started this video production company. And it was really slow going at first. We didn't make any money for about 3 years, but we were getting a lot of good experiences. And then all of a sudden, when the 2008 recession hit, some of the larger companies were trying to look for lower cost solutions. So we got the opportunity to work for a large company down in Grand Rapids, one of the large furniture companies. I'll just give you that much. And through that experience, we kind of had the in, and then other companies wanted to start working with us, and the company just kind of took off. And the way that we chose to grow at that time, it was just me and a business partner and one other employee, was just to work our butts off, like work, 80 plus hours a week. It was crazy. And that lasted for about another 2 years from there. So the total, that company lasted for about 5 years. And then my business partner and I split up, and I started my own video production company because I wanted to focus on cinematography. So started Cinerific at that point, bought a red camera. A red Scarlett had just come out at that time. And we were really going after the commercial, corporate promotional video type market in Grand Rapids, and got to work with a lot of great clients.
Wow, that's incredible. Like, would you say working in film was like a dream that you had as a child?
That is a great question. So, yes, I don't remember at what point I started liking video or thinking that that was something I could do as a career. But what I did know is that, my grandparents had a video camera that I could use when I would go visit them in Indiana. And I mean, of course, there weren't phones, there weren't DSLRs, it wasn't easy to access equipment at that point.
Right.
But in high school, well, actually, this happened. In high school, I had two things that happened. One, we had a little studio in our high school so we could do live production. We did morning announcements and stuff like that. The other thing that happened was we had a program called EFE, which was Education for Employment. So the first 2 hours out of every day my senior year, I was able to go down to the Community Access Center and work with the local cable channel to produce television. And they had a course that I was taking in high school. So half of it was working on shooting for tape and then editing type productions. And the other half, the second semester, was studio production. So I got a taste of both, shoot and edit, and then the remote production stuff. And that's really where I started to learn how to direct live television.
Oh, dang. That's awesome. Because like in high school, I literally was just like, okay, so here's camera, make video, edit yourself, and then boom. That's all it was. Like, I remember like first going into the class, what they first taught us is like, okay, we're going to first have you guys just learn with one camera, film it, and like do some small edits to like put it together, and it needs to be this amount of time. And I was like, okay, seems pretty easy. And then they told us like your second project is working with two cameras. And it's like, whoa, we have to like actually line up audio and like video and everything together. So then we did that. And then they're like, okay, your first official project is you have to make a music video. Nice. And literally the only thing was of just you filming it, and you would just put the music in the background. So like that's just what we had to deal with. And even then we weren't taught a lot of things that like would help us of just like, okay, this would be good lighting, or like you should be doing this kind of technique, like moving the camera a certain way. Like we weren't taught any of that. So like knowing that you got that kind of experience, like just right out of the get-go, is pretty insane. And like, I would have loved to have that experience.
So was this course that you took, was it right in your high school?
No, we had to go to,
Okay.
had to go to another facility,
Okay.
called the Career Line Tech Center, like out in
Nice.
Holland area.
Nice.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, still, that sounds like a very similar experience to what I had. It's always going to come down to, you know, what do the teachers know? How do they work in the real world, or do they just know, you know, kind of the theory level of video production? And that's what I really liked about Ferris in general. Ferris was a really hands-on program, and just like you had the experience this semester, it was your first semester, and you got to use real equipment. And it was also unique this semester because we were kind of thrown into productions faster than some. Now, I know the remote can be thrown into productions right away, especially this next semester, we're going to be thrown into hockey right away because hockey games are already being produced. But with you guys, I think we had 2 or 3 weeks where we were able to start to go over content. We got out the cameras, really learned how those worked. And thank goodness we got that far, because then all of a sudden I was like, okay, guys, we're having a hockey game this weekend. What was your first position that you ran for football? Do you remember?
For football, I did audio because like that's the thing that I knew the most, because
That's right.
I worked in a fine arts center for 2 years, and the main position that they had me on there was just doing audio stuff. And I said, okay, should be pretty easy. And then we got to like actual setting everything up. Worst experience for audio, not gonna lie. Okay. So here's the whole thing. It literally was just like, okay, Ben, you're gonna do this, and I'm like, okay, I got you. Then we tried setting everything up, and then I'm just like, it's not working. I don't know how to fix this. And then Andrew's like, oh, it's okay. I'll be with you in a few minutes.
And then I
was neglected for 2 hours.
I kept saying that. Yeah, I know that was a rough one. Didn't we get audio though right before it started?
We got audio like a minute before we started actually doing stuff. And like what I also had to do was we didn't set it up correctly of like having it on 2 different channels, or like I don't know if we separated it with 2 different channels or one. But thing is, for me, like the announcers were different volumes. So literally every single time I had to move it up or down depending on who was talking. And then sometimes they would both talk and I'm like, I don't know where to move it. And it was just so confusing. And I'm just like, I've had like bad experiences when it comes to audio, but like that was just a wreck. And like I didn't know what to do for half of that.
It is a challenge when they have their own mixer and they can send you a different level for each. It's rough, but you did it.
I survived.
And then how was your camera experience?
Camera experience, it was good. I think that like I should have gotten more sleep when it came to like the last game. I showed up late, to be completely honest, and I was so tired and dead, and like there was so much shakiness I had, and like I was sometimes like not following correctly, and it was like the worst thing ever. But for my first camera experience, which was camera 1, being outside, that was really cool. I really had a great time of just like I got my own space and everything. No, like and like that's when the band came. So I had to work around the band and also keep filming because like they would sometimes work around me to make sure that they weren't in front of the camera. But then there were times where they would literally get right in front of the camera. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm trying to film a game here.
Yep.
But overall, like I think the experience that I had with like the positions that I was able to choose, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was really, really fun.
Nice. Awesome. So what classes do you have next semester?
That's a good question.
Starts in like 4 days.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. Starts on the 11th.
I thought we went back on I go back on the 15th.
Maybe that's your first class.
No, because they said students were not to return till next weekend.
Yeah, but I thought Zoom classes still start on the 11th.
I don't know.
Everything's remote until the 19th. That's what I understand.
Oh,
But you should hear from your instructors and your professors.
yeah. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I have 2 classes set up.
Okay.
And then I tried setting up 2 others, and it's like, you're on wait list. And then they just disappeared. And I was like, what?
Well, you better get a hold of your advisor and make sure you get some classes going.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that and tell them like, hey, could you like quickly like put me in some classes like that?
Yeah.
Greatly appreciated. But
get some of your prereqs out of the way.
Yeah. definitely for sure.
So what do you think of your Ferris experience so far? What other classes did you take last semester besides your television courses?
I took sociology, acting, and then the Ferris seminar that every freshman has to take.
Right.
And then math, because I only need 1 math credit, and I got it out of the way pretty quickly, so I was like, nice.
Good.
Don't have to worry about that much.
Nice.
I think that the best I did for like out of all my classes was honestly yours in acting. I know that for like the TDMP class, it's like, oh, some of the stuff is a no-brainer and you should be like, this is really easy. But like there's a lot of stuff that like you have to learn and you have to like understand completely. Like that exam, like I was ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I remember writing down paragraphs because I'm like, I know so much about this and I know exactly what it does, because I was able to learn like just by like you teaching me, and then also like watching other people do it and doing it for myself.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
It's really awesome.
Well, when did you find out that you wanted to go into film or video? And what do you? I mean, right now at the beginning, what are you thinking you're going to do with it? Like, how are you going to? I guess what are you hoping to learn in college? And then what do you hope to do with it? Because some people want to work in sports, some people want to work on films, some people want to work on corporate videos, but I don't think they know it yet. But that's kind of where the money is. Right.
I personally want to go into film.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be like one of those like, you know, stereotypes of just like, oh, I like watching movies, so I want to go into film. No.
That is something people say.
There are stereotypes that are just like, oh, movie making so easy, and it's like, no, it's not. It's actually kind of difficult. But my overall dream is I want to become a director for Warner Brothers.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a big dream, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I can actually do it if like I work hard enough and I pursue my dream and like make it a reality.
Definitely.
But for what I'm going to learn in college, probably the stuff that I definitely want to learn is how to script write properly, because I'm not the greatest when it comes to script writing.
Okay.
So script writing will definitely be helping me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, lighting and angles. I feel as though I'm some good with lighting and angles, but at the same time, I'm kind of garbage at it, and I need to work on. I need to work on it a lot. But I think that when I first got into film, it was I want to say back in high school. I was a freshman year of high school. I had been doing theater for that would be my 6th year doing theater. So and I really liked doing it, and like that was freshman year was definitely the year that I was like watching a bunch of movies. And that was also when I was hired for the Fine Arts Center. Nice. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what, this is really cool, like being an actor, also working on sound and like working backstage as well. And I'm like, you know, this is really cool. And then like I started to really think about like, what if I go into film? And it sounded like it sounded like a thing of like, okay, yeah, you could do it, but like, will you actually be good at it?
Sure.
And like, I started talking with people about it too. And I'm just like, hey, what do you think about me becoming like doing something in film or like movies or something? And they're like, I could definitely see you as an actor, but like, I could see you doing a lot more with like audio and like being a director, or, like a producer, doing stuff like that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. This seems kind of cool. I might do this. And then like the dream kind of went away for like a year or two. And then
Okay.
like well, because sophomore year I wanted to become a psychologist.
Okay.
And then junior year I wanted to become an actor. And I was just like, this kind of incorporates with film. And well, I wanted to become an actor and a teacher because I at the Korean Line Tech Center I did Teacher Academy. So
Okay.
yeah, it was really cool with that. But then when I got into the media communications class and hearing everything that people said about me, knowing like they're like, oh man, your directing's great. Overall, like your acting, your storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
like it just works so well, and your ideas and your imagination for film is really incredible. And I
Nice.
remember my teacher talking to me saying, you write all your videos like it's a cartoon.
Mm.
And it's really awesome knowing that, because like some people cannot do that when it comes to real life stuff. But then there's like movies like Jim Carrey, the movies that Jim Carrey's in, or like Will Ferrell, and it feels like an actual like cartoon, like the main actor's being a cartoon character, and it's like writing kind of like one of those dumb plots, but overall like it's a really good movie and it's really funny. Like kind of the cartoons to today, you know, where it's like it makes no sense, but it's still funny to the kids.
Right. Don't get me started on that.
But like my teacher said that like I kind of had that vision and I have that kind of like thing going forward, and he's like, I can definitely see you like doing well inside the film community. I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Knowing that, I was like, let's go into film. And also I got 6 free credits for Ferris, so
Nice. So why Ferris then? How did you decide? Because it sounds like you live down south of here.
yeah, I live in the Grand Rapids area.
Okay, so then why Ferris? How'd you find Ferris?
My sister actually was talking to me about Ferris because she went up there, and she's like, "Oh man, wouldn't it be so great if we lived in an apartment together?" And I'm like, "I literally lived with you for most of my life. I think I'm okay."
Sure.
But at the same time, I was thinking through of just like, I actually need to think of what college I want to go to.
Right.
And I didn't really have any thought process until going into senior year, where I'm like, I want to go to Ferris.
Mm-hmm.
Because overall, like I've heard that they're really hands-on, they're really great. And then hearing that they literally have an internship program where literally you could go, for crying out loud, you could go to California for in Hollywood and like do a bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Because junior year I went to Ferris's campus.
Okay.
As a tour, a college tour.
Okay.
And what ended up happening was the guy who was doing the tour for us was just like, anybody interested in the TDMP stuff? If you are, just know that the person that recently graduated got an award for the Stranger Things and doing the audio for that. I was like,
nice.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. Yeah. Well, good to know. Good to know. And like, that's when it really clicked of just like, Ferris is actually a really great place for TDMP kids like me.
Yep.
So might as well go pop into it and then see how it turns out. And so far I've been having a great time.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah. You gotta really start focusing, Ben. I mean, you've got plenty of time to do it right now because you're just starting your college career, but you've got to start making movies like crazy. I mean, literally, you've got to be focusing as much as you can outside of class on directing, you know, and really work on that skill, hone that skill. Did you say you tried to sign up for my online media management class?
I did, but all the spots were filled.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a great class because in it we work on our personal brand and websites to promote ourselves and our work. So, once you get there, it'd be really great because then you can start to work on your portfolio. I mean, you can do that now, right? You can start to work on your portfolio and show what you've worked on. Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have some of the stuff that you've worked on so far? You're giving me that look like, yeah, but I don't want to show you.
Yes. Well, some stuff I will show, other stuff I'm like not proud of.
Sure.
Like, I started doing YouTube back in 7th grade with an idea of just like I could become big.
Sure.
And then freshman year rolled around and I just gave up entirely.
Yeah.
And then junior and then senior year, like during quarantine, I'm like, hey, why not make videos again? I did that for about 3 months and then stopped because I wanted to do Twitch. And I thought that Twitch was a lot better for me.
Yeah.
I liked doing live content. And I just overall like the whole live aspect. So, and then now I'm on Twitch with over 250 followers.
Nice.
I'm affiliated, even though that you don't
That's
know
good.
what some of that stuff means.
I know what that means.
Do you know what emotes are?
Nope. You lost me there.
Okay.
Because I'm old.
You're not that old.
No.
But yeah, if I wanted to show some stuff, I definitely could. I would show you the good stuff, but like the bad stuff, I'd be like, no.
Sure. And that's kind of what your portfolio is going to be. Your portfolio is going to be the best of the best, And when I was in college, we didn't have YouTube yet. The internet was really just ramping up their speed. So we couldn't even really compress video enough to put it online at that point. Like it was a real struggle, and I'm glad of that because there's a lot of stuff that I won't show you either. That isn't, it's on tape somewhere. But that's how everybody starts, right? Every piece you work on, you learn something, and whether it's good or bad, you learn something. So definitely keep making stuff and keep showing it to people to get feedback, but don't be afraid of people getting critical in this industry because they're just trying to help you get better in a lot of cases.
I know.
Or they hate you. But either way, it will make you a better.
No, that's what I need. I
director.
need haters. No.
I mean, you need useful feedback. I mean, in a lot of cases, you need people to say, hey, that was all right, but it could be better here. It could have a better story, or
that was absolute garbage. It sucked.
Yeah, saying that doesn't help anybody, but
I know.
Sometimes it's true, but you still hopefully learn something.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like I worked on the words are nice for my media communications project. The last project that I was able to do, because our final project was supposed to be a 15 to 30 minute movie, or like short film. Sure. I couldn't do that. So technically my last project was a second music video, which is using all the skills that you learned from beforehand and everything.
Sure. I
spent 22 hours filming and editing a video that was a minute 30.
Yeah.
Am I proud of it? Oh yeah. 100%. I think I did really well on it, but other people had different like ideas, and like there's some stuff. There's like a section in there of like 5 or 6 seconds where I'm like, I could have done a lot better for this, but I just like I didn't want to put in that much work because I already had spent like 22 hours on it. But overall, like I think I did really well on it, and I think it did really good. And I asked some people on their feedback for it, and they're like, "This looks super cool. I would love to see you do more stuff like this. Like overall, it's really awesome."
I mean, it's just a funny video, so that's. I mean, is it really meant to be anything else? And I think what hopefully you learned from this was the process takes a long time.
Yes.
For a short amount of video, because just look at how much time is spent on 30-second commercials.
There's a lot.
And then companies will pay a lot of money to get it placed in certain locations, especially if it's on television.
Right.
So it's not going to change. Learning that lesson is not going to change as you progress through not only your college career, but also when you get into the real world. Good job, Ben.
Thank you. Ben actually does make something good. Wow.
Yes. And this is a very niche market type thing, right? I mean, not everybody's going to know the show.
Yeah.
But then
a lot of people know the memes from it, though. So
fair enough. What's a meme? Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm teasing. I kid.
I was gonna get a little angry there, just like, are you kidding me? Here, wait. Do you know the to be continued meme or no?
Nope. And that's one of the reasons that I love teaching is I love to stay connected to what the younger generation is. I mean, I can say it now easier than I could before. When I started teaching adjunct, there was a big gap where I wasn't, but I actually started teaching adjunct when I was about 26. So
how old are you now?
I turned 39 today.
Happy birthday!
Thanks. So I'm almost 40. So if you look at the definition of a millennial, I think they say, some articles, depending on where you look online, say that millennial starts in like 1981. So I was born in 82. So that's like right there. But when it comes to some of those digital native things, like I still prefer to use a desktop over a phone, for example. You know, I'm not in that category, the 60% that prefer to be on their mobile phone for everything. I like the keyboard. I like the mouse.
I would actually agree with you on that. I prefer to be on a desktop than my phone. Even when it comes to like looking at the social media stuff, I prefer to be on my computer. But there's times where like I'm away from my computer and like I just want to like I want to like look at like my Instagram or like watch a video real quick.
Right.
Like there are some times where I will be on my phone for that type of thing for social media. But overall, like when it comes to what I use more, I would 100% say my computer.
Nice.
I prefer being on computer than on your mobile device.
Awesome.
I always make fun of people whenever they have laptops and they're like trying to play like the games that like the high-tech games of just like, I'm gonna play Call of Duty on my small little laptop from 2011.
Not gonna work.
No.
Nope. Graphics processor is not gonna keep up.
Try again.
Nerdy.
That's
awesome.
What we are.
Well, this was a great first episode.
I agree.
Loved getting to know you better. You know, where you started, what you're hoping to do with your career. What are we going to talk about next time?
I was thinking we discuss about cameras, like ones that you should start with as a small filmmaker, and then those that people use in like cinematography or like sports for remote broadcasting, like stuff like that, like all over the place for cameras. Like,
sounds good.
What's a good idea? But yeah.
All right. I propose we do this.
Okay.
I will research cameras based on what I know.
Okay.
You research cameras based on what you know, and we'll come together and discuss.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.